Embracing change with certainty. Today, we're going to go through 3 steps that can help you to embrace change with certainty and get you really embracing life on a whole new level. If you don't know me, my name is Jacqui Grant. Little bit of housekeeping. I would love for you to hit that subscribe button, that like button, and if this resonated with you and you think someone else could do to listen to it, why not share it? That'd be awesome. Okay, let's get into it. Today, it is April 2026, and the world is full of a lot of uncertainty, especially if you are a person in Australia in the disability sector, so the NDIS. This week, we heard some massive changes apparently coming, but we don't know yet. So let's just relax. Let's just allow it to unfold. But if you're not in here in the disability sector, you are probably facing some changes. You are probably thinking, oh my gosh, when is the cost of living going to come down? When is that change going to happen for me for the better? Well, this video could probably help you. So the first thing around embracing change with certainty, and I also encourage you to keep an eye out for our events that we run with this as well. But the first thing is looking at what's going on in your life. Like, what is changing? Is it that you're changing jobs, changing a relationship? Is it that the change is outside of you, that you feel like you have no control over it? Well, I'm here to tell you, you actually do have a little bit of control, even when it's someone else making the change decisions. Because the first thing is to be aware of exactly what is changing and whether you are reacting or responding to it. Are you choosing to get really upset when it's something that if you just stopped and took a deep breath and said, okay, and acknowledge your feelings, acknowledge the being state that you're in right now with this change, whatever it is. That being state of, oh, I don't know what I can do about it. I'm angry, I'm anxious. Or maybe the change is exciting and there's a little bit of nervous energy around that as well. Change isn't always bad. I've come to learn over my many years here on earth and my many challenges in life is that at the end of the day, it comes down to our attitude, our response, or our reaction. And it comes back to what you make the situation. So what's changing, what you make it mean. Now, I'm going to use the reference of the NDIS because that is something that many Australians can relate to. Announcements were made this week about cuts coming to funding and providers having to become registered. I'm just being very broad. And you add to that, which the rest of the world can connect to, is the cost of living. We all know there's a bit of a challenge with fuel at the moment. And all of that is outside of all of our control. And you can get angry and you can be like, no, this is not okay. I can't afford to put fuel in my car. Or what if I lose my funding for NDIS, which helps somebody come in and helps me get out of bed? What if that happens to me? And as with everything, there's multiple scenarios. And I went into the whole, I don't want to drive too far because of the cost of fuel. And, I don't have to always go out, so I won't. So I'll leave that bit of fuel for someone else. And then I realized that I was putting my life on hold. Have you done that where you just go, oh, and the reaction was more like, oh yeah, I'm just going to watch how much I spend on here. If I don't have to, I won't. But then suddenly you create a whole new habit, which isn't necessarily a healthy one. If you stop going out, then you're giving over control and your power to that global situation or the local situation. So acknowledging that whatever the change is that you're going through may have certain emotions. It's a change that you feel like control and power has been taken away from you. Take a few moments, take a few breaths and say, okay, I need to identify why I'm choosing to react this way, because it is a choice. Even if you naturally do it, that reaction is still a choice. Because when you have awareness of whether you react or respond, you can stop and you can say, okay, upset over something that I have no control over because I feel like somebody else is taking over control of my life. They're taking away my power. They're taking away my choice. Well, maybe they are to a degree, but you still have a choice. You still have that power that you can take back and say, okay, I'm not happy about the fuel crisis or situation. I'm not happy about the changes or the cost of food. I'm not happy that my job, is changing. I'm not happy that my relationship is changing. So you can acknowledge those emotions. I feel right now I'm being afraid because what if we run out of fuel? Or what if? And often fear sits in the what if scenario when we're talking change. So what if you felt into that fear for a moment in a safe space and you said, okay, what do I have right now? What can I control in this situation? This question is a really good question. And to get to the really in-depth answer that really is going to help bring a little bit of inner peace and that control back to you, one of the key things is knowing yourself so well and how you actually respond. Right. So, okay, there's this situation going on, and what control do I have right now? I have control, respond or react. Okay. And what can I do now? Like, what are my choices outside of that? So, what action could I take? What emotions am I feeling and giving into? And who am I being? Fear, happy, sad, anxious, those emotions, they're your being state. Okay, now is this serving me? Is it solving the problem? Is it making it feel bigger? Like coming back and really identifying those key things. Now, I have a personality profile quiz and the QR code is on the screen, which you can do at any time. I was working with someone, I would find out what their primary personality profile is. And I'd say, well, just to bring some context, as an innovator, the way you face change, or as an adventurer, the way you face change is often this way. And then let's pull on your strengths and your traits as to how you embrace change. Now, in that coaching session, we'd probably do their unique success code as well, which is how you're wired for success and how you're wired to embrace change and all aspects of everything that takes you to success. And if you're interested in that, you can visit our website. But right, the first step to embracing change with certainty is identity and identifying whether you're reacting or responding, what you have control over, what you don't, and what your choices are. Now, once you've identified all of that and that being state of emotion, the emotions, the next step is doing. Okay, I know that I can do this. So I'm going to change a little bit more to adapt to this situation. Or I could choose to do nothing, or I could choose to complain and stay in the angry state if I want to, or the frustration state if I want to. But what you choose to do next is where that empowerment comes. And you connect into your confidence about, okay, so I can do this. Okay, so now my perspective is changing. It's maybe not as bad as I first thought. I'm still annoyed, but it's not as bad as I first thought. When we identify and connect with what we have control over, when we acknowledge, okay, I have no control over that, so I need to leave that situation alone. So I have no control over, but I can choose to say, okay, it is what it is. And yes, I am up with fuel to do that trip because I'm going to continue living my life. So I'm going to move into doing. So now I feel confident. I feel a bit safer now. So even though there's these changes going on outside of my control and I might not like them, I'm taking back my power to say, okay, I'm okay. I'm going to do this. This is my choice. This is my decision on what I choose to do. That in itself is empowering. That in itself is like, that weight is off my shoulders. And one of the keys to doing this a bit faster and moving through those emotions and thoughts and perceptions into the being state, which takes you to doing, you suddenly feel confident. You suddenly feel a little more optimism and positivity. But to get there a bit faster, especially if it's something that's like, whoa, where did this situation come from? I had no idea. And those big things, those global things, or those country things that are outside of your control, or those things that are, you have no control over it, but you have control over you. Your power is actually already within you. It's just whether or not you're choosing to hand it out to other people or whether you're choosing to keep it within you. So the fastest way, as I said, to get from step 1 to step 2, so identity to being, which takes you into confidence and doing, is to know yourself so well. And we work with people to do that, and we have memberships, and we have audios, and we have lots of things to help you do that. And we'll be running events, some online and some in person very soon. So if you're interested, then hit that subscribe button and do the quiz. The QR code's right there. You can stop the video and QR code it with your phone. Unless you're watching this on your phone, then okay. So identity first. Your reactions, your responses, knowing what you do have control over, moving into being state of, okay, I am angry, so I'm going to be angry. But how can I use that anger to keep my power for me so I have energy, so I can go ahead and do things with confidence? Clarity, confidence. And the third step here, that third step to embracing change with certainty is the certainty itself, which is authentically you, being uniquely you, and doing things in a way that supports you, that gives you energy, and also doing things that is about taking care of you. Because one of the things is that when we're stressed, when we're anxious, when we're worried about things, we can lose sleep, we can either overeat or undereat, we can forget to drink water, we might choose other fluids to have instead. Just be careful. everything in moderation, they say. We might we're focusing on the negative a lot more, so we're staying in anger state a lot more than what we are of moving forward. And that, by the way, is a choice. So let me give you an example of what I mean by that. So recently I had a situation, and so a certain day of the week I do the same thing. It's a contractual agreement, and I show up the same time day of the week, and I've been doing it for months and months and months. Right? Been doing it since July last year, actually. And it is the one thing that I cannot change, and I choose not to change it as well. So it is a contractual agreement. What I do, this is when I show up, and it's work. It is a work commitment. But other people decide that no, they're going to need my space at that particular time. And they know that I have work commitments, and they're like, well, she'll just have to not work. She'll have to go somewhere else, which is not easy to do because, I need internet, and it's very professional what I'm showing up for. So no, I can't not work. You're retired. You can change things around. Now, I got annoyed that I wasn't being respected, that my boundaries were just being walked all over. I was like, no, this is work. And this person kept pushing. No, where you have to change. And I'm like, seriously? There's 6 other days in the week. So I got angry. I got really angry with it. I'm like, no, I'm not budging. I'm standing by my boundaries. I'm standing by my contract, but I'm being angry right now. I'm angry. I know I don't look angry. I'm trying to make this light. And I walked away and I was like, this is not okay. This is not okay. I've been doing something for nearly 12 months on the same day, at the same time. It's a contractual agreement. No, I'm not budging. And you know what? Everybody involved kept pushing it back to change. You have to just not work on that day. Okay, so imagine if I wasn't self-employed and I said to my boss, I'm sorry, all these other people need to do something on this day, so I can't work. I go, are you serious? Do you really want your job or not? Well, I'm my own boss, and I'm saying that to myself. Do you really want this job? Do you really want this contract? Do you really want this income? Because if you don't, then sure, go ahead and let other people walk all over you. So I've stood firm to make changes. Now, where I'm going with this is, I was like, what is it going to take to get through that this is actually work? And then I realized, stop talking. Stop trying to tell them how important this is. They don't want to hear it. They don't understand it, and they don't want to hear it because their perception is it isn't really work. But maybe they need to see the invoices that I submit to get paid. Maybe they need to see that. But once again, I shouldn't have to go that far. So because we're at a bit of a nobody's shifting, so nobody's giving up. And other people will say, oh, well, they've got commitments. Yeah, but work around it. This is a non-negotiable. It's the one day in my life that is a non-negotiable. It's just not up for negotiation because it is a contractual agreement. And I realized in that moment that there was no respect, and I could keep fighting this and I could keep being angry. And I was very clear. I was giving all my power away. I stopped and I identified clarity around that, giving my power away. in this scenario. I was arguing. I was standing up for my boundaries, but nobody had any interest in listening to it. And I realized in that moment that the respect for me and my work and what I do is really not there, because the understanding is not there. They have no concept for the work that I do. They have no understanding of it, and they choose not to. So going through and embracing change with certainty, because this is a change and this is upsetting me and this is annoying me, I had a choice. I stopped arguing. I had my say to make the point that, hey, I'm not happy about this, because I'm allowed to be not happy. I have that right. And I said, I shouldn't have to come up with the solution because there's 6 other days in the week that this would not be a problem. So to me, yes, everybody's busy. I'm going to empathize. I'm going to understand that as best as I can of urgent state. But I'm also going to be practical and say there's 6 other days that have 24 hours in them. I just require 2 hours on one particular day. 2 hours one day. And there's the rest of the week. And I pointed that out. But no, because what I do is not understood and there's no interest to understand it, and because I am often so accommodating, it's like, it's going to be fine. So I went, I'm really angry, and I'm going to have my anger stage, and I'm going to have my little temper tantrum in my own space, because I'm allowed to express my anger. And now I'm going to take a deep breath and go, right, I'm not budging. I'm still working. I'm still showing. Because if I don't, they're all going to say, oh, well, she's unreliable. She doesn't show up for work. And I'm whatever way I can, in the best way I can. But I'm going to do it with a smile on my face. And I'm going to bring back my power to me. I'm not giving them power anymore. And I'm going to be pleasant, and I'm going to be. You can do what you need to do. But you're also going to have me about. I'm still going to work. I'm still going to show up for the people that are paying my wages, so to speak. And from there, I start to step into a calm space. I embraced me, and I've chosen. And I know, potentially a challenging situation, but I'm going to back me. So my boundary is, this is my day. This is my 2 hours. Everything else I'll be flexible with, but not this. And not this client. Not this contract work. And I realized that even by enforcing my boundaries, because this is a change, right? This is a change of circumstances. This is a change in this situation. And I felt like my power was taken away from me. And I felt like I wasn't being heard or respected. Probably right. Okay. I'm going to come back to me. I'm going to take my power back. I'm going to put a smile on my face and go, you know what? It's okay. I've seen it from other people's perspective. And I'm sticking with what's important for me in this situation. It was a non-negotiable. Okay, now I'm feeling confident in myself. I have power now. I have control. So my actions are that I'm going to be calm. I'm going to be professional. I'm going to be pleasant. I'm going to show up like I do for this client, this job, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm not going to bring it up with anyone else anymore, because every time I do, I'm going to be giving away a little bit of my power to other people. And I'm going to say, okay, yeah, it might take me a little bit longer to get over it, but I'm going to do what brings me energy, what brings me joy, what brings me happiness, so that I can shift the being state into one of confidence, one of clarity, and being authentically me. And I may even be building up a little bit of resilience as I do that. Every time I give my power away, I'm not being an empowered woman. I'm not being an empowered person. You see, embracing change with certainty, it is so simple. It's knowing yourself so well that you know that when your buttons are pushed, so to speak, or your boundaries are being pushed at and tested, that you can go through that change really quickly. Like, you can be angry, you can be annoyed, you can be frustrated, you can be all of those. But it's what you do next that brings back the power to you, which brings back your confidence. So you go from so you gain that clarity by and how you respond, and whether you react, that's a choice. You look at what you have control over. You suddenly feel this confidence come back over you because you've given yourself permission to experience those being emotions, and you experience them, you go through them, and you shift through into, okay, I have control. See, the minute you say, I have control over this, I have choice here, you're empowering yourself. And this is what this is all about. Embracing change with certainty is all about you and how you choose to respond or react, the clarity that you choose to have, the being state to move into your doing state. Okay, these are the actions. And then from there, this is where your certainty comes in. Through your actions, the results, the responses. The results come because you say, okay, I now know where I stand in this situation, in this scenario. I choose what I do next. I choose my reaction or response. I encourage you to respond. And all of this is wrapped up in your identity. So in this example that I just gave you about the non-negotiable 2 hours on a particular day, and other people want to step on it and all of that sort of stuff, that non-negotiable, right? And innovate, let's be creative in how we do this. And a stabilizer is probably going to find every single avenue to keep the peace and the status quo. And an optimistic is going to go, well, this will be fun. Let's see what shows up. Let's see what happens. They're going to see the bright side straight away and so much quicker. A relationship builder is probably going to find a way to actually maybe give away a little bit of their power through trying to keep those relationships really solid. The adventurer is going to go, you know what? This will be interesting. I want to see what's going to happen. They're going to have more of a, bit of a daredevil kind of way. Now, each of these are the files that we do in the free quiz that's up here on the QR code on the video. Embracing change with certainty is about you being empowered in your life. And to be empowered, knowing yourself is the best way to go. And then the next way, the methodology or the process that you can take yourself through so much quicker instead of staying stuck and focused on what you have no control over, and this situation is making me so angry, and you stay stuck in that, you're not going to be productive in that space. And this is where what I love and I get excited is taking people through their unique success code, because this is how you are wired to have this success in this life. And yes, I'm passionate about it. I get excited about it. When you have your unique success code, you know how you are wired for success, you are wired for empowerment, and you have more control over your life. And you're keeping that power for you so you can do amazing things and have this amazing life that you choose. You have the life that you choose, and you get to move through any challenges and any obstacle so much quicker. So you stay keeping your power. You have this clarity, this confidence, and this certainty in every scenario. Once you have your unique success code, it's so much easier. Life is so much more fun. Now, if you'd like to learn more about the unique success code, about our membership for an empowered life, we cover in that membership, I'll just tell you what's covered, just so you know. There's weight management, fitness, mindfulness, stress management, how you embrace change, how you face challenges, communication style. There's aspects for business owners as well. There's if you're looking to change career. There's celebrating you, that bigger part of empowerment. How you set your healthy boundaries and then stick by them. How you learn when you're in reaction or response mode. That being state, like there are so many different topics in this, and they're all audios. So you can join the membership, and then as part of the membership, you get access to some of my books. I've written now 26 books, and 12 of those are Amazon bestsellers. You get access to savings on events that we do, the merchandise that we have, you get, and the longer you stay, the more the savings are there. So it is a really good place, and we build community there as well, which you have for and out of. And you can opt in at no extra cost for a weekly empowerment message as well, direct to your phone. There's so many amazing things. And the beauty is you come in, you embrace what you want to, and we bring it all back to your personality profile. We bring it back to, as an innovator, this is how you approach this. As a stabilizer, this is how you approach it. This is work I've put into this to bring you value and support in your life. And you stay for as long as it's value to you. We wish you well, and you choose to end it. You choose to leave. So keep an eye out for our events and come learn your unique success code at one of the events that we have. We're going to have a lot. Maybe you're interested in the book, Empowered Woman, May 2026. If you're watching this after May 2026, it's on our website. So it'll be there very soon. But you've got this. And we are going to do a bigger version of this event called Embracing Change with Certainty. But the biggest thing I can say as a disability sector right now, especially if you're going through a really hard time right now and your life feels like it's just changing on every single possible level and you're exhausted from change, stop, take a deep breath or two, be kind to yourself, surround yourself with people who are going to lift you up, build you up, and know that you can do this. You can. And if you need some coaching, then reach out. I have coaching services, and we just take everything one step at a time. You are worth having success in your life. You are worthy of feeling empowered and having control over your life to the best that you can, and sitting in a state of choice and response more than you sit in a state of reaction. If you've gone through any form of abuse or trauma with your health or at the hands of another person, then taking back control of your life and allowing yourself to that first step to having that certainty, because it comes back to trusting yourself and you can do this. So thank you so much for watching today. Love you to hit that like button, that subscribe button, keep following us for more, and we wish you all the best.